I am no Pat Long. I'm not as good behind the wheel as Pat Long. Pat's about as big as my thigh.
Tonight on That Car Show, the other Oracle of Omaha, Hagerty's Trent Abbott, joins us to shoot the breeze, share stories, and discuss all things automotive. Trent is a true car enthusiast, rally participant extraordinaire, and unintentional Pied Piper. From founding a fraternity to rallying appreciation for Chrysler's finest, Trent is creating trends left and right. We could have talked all night, but we'll settle for an hour this time. Trent Abbott, the man, the myth, and a true legend this week on That Car Show.
That Car Show is brought to you by Sheffield Watches. Sheffield is the storied watchmaking brand that was revived a couple of years back by our good friend Jay Turkbus, and it's seen wild success in both the car and watch enthusiast communities. Sheffield offers a wide selection of watches, many inspired by the iconic designs of its 1960s dive models, most notably the one that Jay's parents gave him in 1970, which ignited his lifelong passion for watches. Sheffield watches are high quality, reasonably priced, and a great value. Sheffield has truly become the car guy and car gal's watch of choice. Order your Sheffield watch at SheffieldWatches.com. Give them a follow on the gram at Sheffield_allsport_watches and tell them That Car Show sent you. We're also happy to welcome new sponsor Drake Motorcars to the show. And if you are in the Denver area on Saturday, October 11th, please join us along with friends from Avance, Cars and Bids, Velocity Restorations, Automobile Rally Hoffenlee, and First Western Trust for the Drake Motorcars launch party. Saturday, October 11th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Drake Motorcars is at 4840 Broadway in Denver, 4840 Broadway in Denver. You can find them online at drakemotorcars.com. It's going to be a good time. There are going to be some cool cars on hand, some good food, good drink, and we look forward to seeing you there. Hey, it's That Car Show, and tonight we've got our buddy Trent Abbott joining us. If you've been to Car Week or the Colorado Grand or any big-time automotive event, really, you've probably seen Trent. You might know him for his snakehead cowboy hat and black-framed glasses, or as the founder of a super-secret drivers fraternity that I have yet to get the tap on the shoulder for. I've gotten to know Trent on the Colorado Grand, but I think Trent's done just about every other automotive event in the world there is to do as well, including the Cal Mille, the Copper State 1000, the Mille Miglia. I think you've done all those, and probably some other super exclusive stuff that Lindsay and I don't even know about. Trent's got an amazing Porsche 356 with just the right amount of patina, and he's driven that in the Grand, but I know he's got some other cool stuff hiding in the garage as well. In Trent's role at Hagerty, Vice President of Global Development, let's call it the really high net worth folks, I can guarantee you that Trent's seen some shit. Discretion is the better part of valor, of course, though, so discreet we will remain, but I know that we'll get some really good stories out of the guy just the same. I don't know about you, Lindsay, but I've got my bourbon, I've got my cigar, so let's get into it. What's up, buddy?
Dude, I am just happy to be here with you guys.
It's good to see you.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
That's what I like to hear. That's what we like to hear.
I'm pretty jazzed.
I think that sums Trent up really well. Hey guys, I'm just here. I'm just trying to have a good time. But we're so happy you're here. So good to see you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. It's an opportunity to spend an evening talking about the hobby that we all care so much about, and
right,
more than that, the people that we all get to spend time with, your present company included. And Lindsay, you and I've known each other for a few years now on a chance meeting on a Wednesday lunch, followed up by a Saturday cars and coffee at a finish line. And it's been a lot of fun to know you as well. And
that's true. That was the first time we hung out in person, because we had a call when I first started at Hagerty. And I'll never forget, because you started the call saying, "How can I make your day better?" And I was like, say less. Yeah. But you're right. We met at the Culver City Garage and Social with our friend John Nickus. And then that evolved into, okay, and we're meeting in Huntington at 5:30.
Yeah.
And then we're going to Finish Line.
Yep.
But then between Friday night and Saturday morning, when I got to Huntington pre-dawn, you're like, by the way, there's a third event. And then I went back up to Culver City. And by the time I got to Culver City at 10 a.m., that was my fourth event.
Yeah. Yeah, is SoCal not the best place on the planet for
I know.
automotive shenanigans of all flavors? Like, God, I feel so blessed to be embraced by that community and all all walks of life in that automotive space. Starting out with, the 5 a.m. donut derelicts
Yes,
and moving on down towards Laguna and then back from Laguna back to Huntington to try and hit everything. It is such a hotbed. It's almost as good as Omaha, Nebraska, where I'm at.
almost. It gives Omaha a run for its money. And, when SoCal grows up, it wants to be Omaha. There
It
you
really
go.
does. One of these days they'll figure it out and realize that they need to work out some things to be just like us. It's good. That was a lot of fun. Without a doubt, I knew I had a fast friend in Lindsay and
Yeah.
Exactly.
Ryan. You and I have danced around each other for a few years now,
Yeah.
and finally kind of landed it this year when a particular Jag XK150 on the Colorado brand had a Lucas Electric problem. Right? Not that that would ever happen, but
This
yeah.
sounds like fake news, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
I don't buy it.
Ken On's car had a little failure to launch on a morning, and I called Ryan and crew and said, "Need to get back down into Vale today. We need one of those Mercedes." And I think I convinced the two of you boys to hop in the car and ride with us.
Yeah.
Thinking
Yeah.
that would be a
That's
lot
amazing.
more fun for everybody.
If you've never ridden in the rear seat of a CLA, is it a 53, whatever the AMG version? It doesn't really matter. A Mercedes CLA, it's not a big space, but we survived, and it was really nice having lunch with both you and Ken. So Ken, we should mention, is the president of Broad Arrow.
Correct.
It was his first Grand, is that right?
Correct.
And what's the Jag? It's an XK
150.
150. Okay, hell of a car, beautiful thing, black. Cuts quite a profile, and I think ran just fine for the first 3 days.
Yeah, and really all it was the starter button. We learned how to hot wire it pretty quick after that, and then obviously the wonderful Grand mechanics came and threw an extra switch in it for us. But yeah, that's a really good car, and most impressively, if you put Ken on and I standing next to each other, it's literally like a side of beef. I mean, there is a lot of human there, and that car had no problem motivating us through the mountains of Colorado. It was really a good car. I was surprised at how good and how spacious it was inside. I'm not used to driving old Jags.
How many Grands have you done?
Oh, Grands! I think at this point I've done maybe 6.
Okay.
Maybe 6. Yeah,
It's a lot of Grands.
6 more than I have.
yeah. It's been good. That's a great event, and the charity that goes with it is incredible. And Colorado roads in the fall those are hard to beat. They really are.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really great events out there, and undoubtedly the Grand brings a lot of the really great hardware and a lot of great people. Not that the others don't, but the Grand's kind of special in what it brings out, and I love doing these driving tours, and luckily I get to go do that for a living.
What is it about the Grand that makes it so special? I mean, I think it is the quality of the cars. It is the roads. I think it's the people, right? And it's a nonprofit too, right? It's a charity, so it's like it's altruistic, right? Which is kind of nice too. But it's unique. And Hagerty's a longtime sponsor, as you know, which is appreciated. So
No, it's I think with that event, it's kind of the grandfather of all of the, and I don't want to make it sound uncool by calling it the grandfather, but it is. It's kind of, maybe it's the patriarch. Maybe we call it the patriarch.
There you go.
Of the collector car rally community out there, and the crew that's in charge of that does such a nice job. So thoughtful. The route book is so good. The hotels are well thought out. The lunch stops are the most quaint thing on the planet. I think the lunch stops might be one of the best parts of the event. You go roll into small town Colorado and hand out a bunch of scholarship money to some kids, and by God, it's the same kids that are actually serving you lunch.
Yeah,
that's pretty special. And at the end of the lunch with the local live entertainment and the great check, like it's incredible, and it's a it's a pinch yourself moment when you leave town. You feel like a stinking hero just for driving an old car to the community, and then you go rip down the back road to the next town for coffee. I mean, it's special, and I think the Grand was really the first one in, and Copper State's been doing it a long time. Obviously, I have a tremendous affinity for the Copper State. I think I've done that 15 times, and
Wow. Okay.
and then the California Melee. Obviously, Hagerty owns that now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Right.
you want to talk about a really highbrow, well organized. It was a great event when the Swigs had it. Nothing against the Swigs, man. They had something special. When you think about the Grand and these great sweeping vistas that go on forever, then you hit some switchbacks. Well, California, I never knew this until I started driving this event, but those roads are so tight. They're so full of switchbacks. You don't have as much long sweeping vistas. At the end of 1,000 miles, you feel like you did something. Your shoulders are reminding you that you did all the switchbacks. And Hagerty's I think everybody would say, Hagerty's really elevated that event in that, Hagerty has a long history in events, and so hotels, food and beverage, it's really, really, really elevated, and we're really proud of it. I'm really proud of it. It's fun. So to
that's on my short list for sure.
Yeah, so to have all these events that that we get to participate in and see all of your friends. I mean, the events are great, but it's the people.
Yeah.
It's the people. Yeah. It's the people. Like we're so very fortunate to spend time with some of the most interesting people in the world doing the events. I mean, who else gets to do that?
Yeah, yeah, some fascinating people on these events for sure. Some amazing conversations and all that. And you have done the Mille Miglia, or am I wrong?
No, I haven't.
I just assumed you had. So okay, we can edit that out of the.
No, it's fine. I've been invited a few times. I have yet to find the time to do it. I have a standing really cool invitation by a friend of mine that's a 300 SL mechanic. He happens to own his own car. He really wants to go do this. We just kind of got to figure it out. But I tell you, if I can go run the Mille Miglia in Italy in a 300 SL Gullwing with a guy that knows how to fix it.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's not a jerk. It's even better. He's a really cool dude. So I think, if I can get that one landed, that would be great. But
nice.
Yeah, I'm fortunate the job that I'm in takes me to Europe a bit. So I get at least some taste into some of those things and some, look behind the scenes at a lot of events in Europe, and where their passion would be there too.
Yeah. Well, and I think you and I have been lucky. Like, we have a lot of mutual friends on the Hagerty events team. So especially stuff like the Cal Melee, not only are you getting to see your friends that you're driving with, you get to see your friends that are actually running the event. Like, we had Logan on the show, and then like our good friend, we have to say hi to Hillary, of course. They
Hillary.
just,
I
we
love
love
that.
Hillary.
She's the best. She's like my kid's sister.
I know. She's absolutely the best. But they just, the whole team does such an amazing job. So yeah. It's always amazing to see the pictures.
Yeah.
Have you always been a car guy? Like, does this go back to when you were a kid? Did you grow up in a car family, or what was the genesis of all this? Because I mean, it's your life. I mean, you're living the dream and you're doing all these events, but where did this start?
Yeah, Ryan. I think I was born with it. I don't want to go through the whole tearjerker story here, but so
hey,
I was
the ratings, the tears. Come on.
Come on, drum them up. Let me work on it. Myself.
You can bring the eye drops in if you need.
When I was born, my father had a 1971 De Tomaso Pantera.
Oh, really?
And my biological father was afflicted. Like, this guy was absolutely afflicted by the automobile my entire life. So growing up with, around him, he always had, he had this Pantera from the time I was born in the mid 70s up until the early 80s. And, it was, my folks divorced, and after they divorced, he did the natural thing. We were in western Nebraska, like small town western Nebraska, ranch country. He decides he's going to go to Denver and open a Pantera specialty shop. What could possibly go wrong?
As one does.
Right. So So it might not have been a great business move on his
Yeah,
behalf,
yeah.
but I will never forget going to visit, my father in Denver. Like, they were pretty cool days that, we didn't stay at his apartment, obviously. We had to stay at a hotel.
Okay.
And then he would take us to the shop, and all you would smell was like high test fuel
Uh-huh.
and rubber, because they were throwing
Yeah.
huge beats on these cars. So they were,
Oh,
balancing, blueprinting these, uh, you know, Cleveland's, and it was really cool. We'd go from that straight to Casa Bonita,
Oh, there
like
you go.
Obviously.
right next to Big Sur Waterbed.
In its prime. That's right. Yeah. Wow. Wow. Have you been back since they did the whole rebirth or whatever? Is that?
Oh man, but when I do, I'm calling you.
Okay, please do, because I've never been. And when we moved to Denver, it was kind of, I guess, the nadir of of the place. It was kind of in the dumps. You hear these stories of how they like shoveled out grease from like the vents and all this stuff. But I'm up for going now. So let's make that happen. It's clean. The food is good. It's hard to get in. As you know. So
It'll be great. I can't
That's how
wait.
you know it's good.
So my father had that car until I don't know, probably 7 years old, 8 years old, and then moved into a 928 Porsche.
Okay.
And he had always had like a couple of cool cars like Jags and whatnot in the mix too, but like he really fell head over heels for the 928 when it was brand new. And God, as a kid and looking at that car in the early 80s, it looked like, I thought it was like the space shuttle.
Still does, right?
And,
Still looks like that.
And he kind of went through this progression of Porsches throughout the next 2 decades, and he still has some stuff today. Anyway, it lay dormant for a while. I went to high school and really didn't care. Well, middle school didn't care much. There was nothing in central Nebraska that was of real interest. First car I owned, my mother married a really, really great guy, my stepfather, farm implement dealer in central Nebraska. They met at the height of the ag recession. He was penniless, and the business was a whole thing. And I watched them build this business slowly. And by the time I was, I don't know, 14, I think they'd been married about a year, and they had purchased a new building or a new business out in another town in central Nebraska, Kearney. And I walked back into their assembly and handling building, and where they build like corn headers and all this kind of shit. And I walked back there and I saw this old International Harvester Scout too.
No way.
With canvas doors and canvas top, and it was this very ever so slightly factory lifted, and I about fainted and ran into the building as fast as I could and found my new stepfather, Dad, and I said, "Dad, what's the scoop with this Scout?" I didn't know what the hell a Scout was, but I knew it was cool.
Sure.
And he goes, "Well, we bought that with the business." And I obviously said, "Can I have it?" And he goes, "Well, yeah, you can have it. You're going to earn it, but you can have it." And miraculously, after 2 years of working in the business, right, I ended up with this Scout, and that car meant so much. It started to revitalize the love of automobile, and it was this just ridiculous car that you shouldn't have as a daily driver. Canvas doors at the top, the heater barely worked.
Yeah.
It just wasn't practical at all. But for a high school kid,
Sure.
A super soaker, squirt guns and stuff, and driving it out the lake and back every night, like, God, we thought we were kings in that thing.
Yeah, it doesn't get much better than that. My gosh.
No, and people talk about cars or vehicles that are agricultural. I mean, I think that's literally an agricultural implement, right? I guess which tracks with where you were.
Correct.
But hell of a thing. Yeah. That's,
So we fast forward some years later, and when I was off to college, Mom and Dad gave the car to like my cousin. And then they got it back, and then they sold it to Texas. So I was just freaking heartbroken.
Yeah.
So long and short, found another one. Told my parents, "Hey, you guys owe me one here. Like, I paid for that thing." And so we jointly bought another 1978 Super Scout 2 Baja, and it's much better shape than the one that I had in high school. Yeah, I love that thing.
What makes a Scout a Super Scout? What's
it was a designation for these. They were like a special edition Scout at the time. They had, canvas doors, canvas top. They had skid plates under them,
Uh,
a little bit more suspension.
okay.
Um, they have these snap covers for the vents in the top, so you're not like letting all the rain and dirt in. I mean, it's the dumbest thing ever, but it gets all the eyeball. You drive that thing
Sure.
around, buddy, everybody wants to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, of all the stuff I own, I think that's the one that gets most of the attention.
Yeah.
Well, so you still have that one now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's the only reasonable answer also.
Yeah. Like that's never going anywhere.
Duh.
Yeah. I've got a bit of a Scout problem. I've got that and a 72 that I use for like the Copper State Overland. It's all jacked up and it's ridiculous, but it's fun. And
That
we
sounds
also have a
amazing.
61 pickup, like a 61 Scout with the pickup top on. So Scout 80. I have a real problem, guys.
I mean, there is something about it's like, the baby animals that imprint on whatever they see. Like I was thinking about this with myself. Like there is something about your first car that imprints on you. And, I mean, mine is Ford Broncos, but
Yeah,
like,
I think
it is what it is.
I think that there's something so visceral about owning your first vehicle that is so much freedom.
Mhm.
It presents,
Yeah.
everything. And I had to turn wrenches on that thing. I had to learn on that vehicle. And there's just something that you never forget about that first car.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, freedom is exactly it. I was thinking, like, I have this sense memory of driving the Bronco that I learned to drive in down this main street in the town that I grew up in the fall. So school was back in session, but it was still really, beautiful weather. I had the Beach Boys on the radio. The window was down. And it's like, that was the first taste of freedom, really. Like you summed it up really well. And that's, if you're lucky, that's your first experience with the car.
So choose wisely, parents and children.
Right.
Don't get your kid a crap car because it'll
Broncos
stay
and
with them forever.
Scouts are the way to go.
That's right. And BMW 320i's. That's another.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, yes, absolutely, yes.
Another solid choice.
It's so interesting. The people part of the hobby are so important, right? And I keep harping on that, but
We do too.
my best friends in high school, when they come visit me today and they see this Scout,
Yeah.
like the first thing out of their mouth is, "Can we go take it for a ride?"
Oh, it's the best.
Because for them, it's the same thing. They're reliving the same.
Yeah.
I was the guy that had the big dump truck. The other guy had, he had a Toyota, one of the old, what were those from the 80s, but little 4-wheel drive Toyota. The only two of us.
Like first gen 4Runner or something.
Yeah. But just the pickup. And then, my buddy had like the old Buick station wagon. And we all had our thing. And I can tell you this, if we found, my buddy Carson's Buick station wagon today, I'd say immediately, we're going for a ride. Like, this is too good.
Yeah, we kind of spend the rest of our lives chasing that, don't we? It's
We do.
Heady days,
Yeah.
So I know you for your 356, which is this great 356. I think is it a 59?
58.
58. Okay. It's got great patina. I don't know what the story is with that car, where you found it or whatever, but it's just, like I said in the intro, it's got just the right amount of like patina and real patina. That car rocks. Like, what's the story? Where'd you find that?
Oh, God. So our friend Logan Coffey, shout out to Logan. Logan has long been friends with Patrick Long.
Okay.
And, fanboy right here. Big fanboy.
Yeah, for sure.
Pat Long. And I remember watching him race with Van Overbeek and crew at Flying Lizard back in the day. And totally into it. At the time, I owned like a 911 SC. It was like the first Porsche I owned. And man, it was like right at the height of the Great Recession. And I was all about Porsche. And then we have this American driver in this crazy livery car. That's Pat Long. I'm like, this dude's cool. And I watch, subsequent years of racing, and Luft comes out, and I think I met Pat briefly at like Luft 2.
Okay.
but nothing like he wasn't going to remember me from anyone. Uh, I get this phone call from Logan, and he's like, "Hey Trent, Pat Long wants to sell this car. He's got another couple of projects he's working on, a couple of other cars, and it's time for him to part company with Wester." And I was like, "I'm familiar with Wester. I know this car, and this was the car that I believe Patrick Long was most known to own as a street car. Lots of photographs with him in it at Luft events, and it was a car that I think at Luft one he saw and just said
Okay.
Had this thing.
Really?
I believe we're fourth owners here. It was a barn find by the folks that Pat bought it from. That's a cool story. The car was bought from Wester Volkswagen Porsche in Carmel, or in,
Oh, that's really special.
Yeah.
And so to have that, and it still has the original plate frame on it from Wester Volkswagen Porsche.
Fantastic.
Anyway, took European. The original guy took European delivery on it. It's it's a 58 A coupe with the old Goldie, sunroof on it, the turn and slide, and it still works today.
Wow.
This thing is, there's patina, guys. There's patina. This thing's got a lot of patina. It's cool. I've heard rumor from Patrick, and subsequently, you buy a car from like your hero, and it's pretty amazing. You get to become friends. Anyway, he shared stories with me that there were some spots on that car where the paint had absolutely worn through, and he and another Porsche enthusiast, Rod Emery, got together and they like rattle canned a few spots on this thing. So it's something. So the car came to me, and I am no Pat Long. I am not as good behind the wheel as Pat Long, and the engine that was in it was a bit tired, and Pat would agree. Pat's about as big as my thigh, and so
there's our soundbite.
yeah, and he could hustle that thing around anywhere. It doesn't matter what he has. Like, so for me, it was like, geez, I need a little bit more oomph out of this.
Sure.
So I have a local mechanic here in town. He had a pretty nice race engine that he said, well, why don't we just slap this thing in here? He sold it to me at a great price. So we've got the original engine, which Pat and I both thought was like a not the original engine of the car. Well, after some review, it appears that it is the original engine of the car. So I'm kind of happy that's out of it at the moment. We've got this hotter engine in it. That stupid thing is like unmuffled, and it's ridiculous. It sure is a lot of fun. And I think I've done 4 rallies in that car now, 4,000 miles.
Amazing. Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Did you do the Cal Melee in that one?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought. Okay. I think that's where I remember seeing it last in pictures.
And I love that because Pat Long and Rod Emery rattle canned it. Like, that's okay. Right. Like that adds to it, right? That adds to the story. It adds to the value. You probably know this, Trent, but I got to spend a day with Rod in one of his cars on the Grand, and it was pretty amazing. I mentioned this on the last show, but you don't know what you're getting into. You're in the car for 4, 5, 6 hours with somebody. You're going to get along. A lot of pressure. This is Rod Emery, right? Easiest guy in the world to get along with. We had a great time, and obviously he's a shoe. It was just, I told Tom, Haran from the Grand, this is an experience we should auction off on the last day, right? I had that experience. It was fantastic. It was a hell of a thing, and I've been telling everyone I know about it since. But I love that, it's kind of like the hand of the master, right? Like it's okay, it's.
Yeah.
But again, how nice of a human being.
And it's genuine.
Right.
Yeah.
With every excuse not to be, and then just super down to earth.
Yep.
Yeah, just truly another one of those incredibly great stories, incredibly great human beings doing master's level work, and his family history is so cool. And what a special individual for sure.
Truly. So
It's about the people, like we always say.
No, it really is. It really is. You've got the 356. You've got these Scouts. What else is in your garage? What else are you into?
Oh man, I've got a Porsche problem. It seems like now I sound like Magnus Walker. I have a Porsche problem.
So what's that like?
But
Neither of us can relate.
No.
But you smell better.
Yeah, well, I got that going for
I
me.
can attest to that.
When Lindsay Story, sorry, we may have to cut that out. But when Lindsay Story heard that you were coming on the show tonight, I think the first thing out of his mouth was, "Boy, he smells great." And then I think there was a twinkle from his eye.
Yeah. I said, I told him Trent's coming on, and we simultaneously were joking, like, other than how good you smell, what else should we talk about? Which I should say, when Tori met Trent in person, it was at Airwater this year.
Yeah.
And it was actually right after Tori and I started dating, and we got to hang out with Trent. And after a while, Tori said, I gotta say, you smell amazing.
So what's your secret? What is it? What do you?
Oh man, God, to be, you could be known as the most interesting man in the world, but there's worse things than like being like the best smelling guy in a car.
I was gonna say, will you settle for best smelling?
Oh, guys, here it is. Like, here's your freaking soundbite. like, my wife buys me this great cologne, and God, she's the coolest. And so she buys
really
me this great cologne and sends me out into the world. And
fly, baby bird, fly.
Yeah, go fly away. But you're gonna go smell good, baby bird.
You're gonna walk to her.
I apparently this scent works well, and I'm thinking, I've had some comments, and like, oh, this stuff's great. Like, a little confidence booster.
Yeah.
I'm sure all the ladies are paying attention, and every dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
All the guys come up to me. And it's like a tap on the shoulder. Perfect freaking strangers. Tap on the shoulder. Hey, what fragrance are you wearing? I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
That was the funniest part about the whole thing, was like, I was still dying laughing that Tori had said it in the first place. And then you're like, I get this all the time from guys.
Yep, it's always the guys.
amazing.
Wow. So I think Jen knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
I think
She did.
my lovely wife knew exactly what she was doing and sent the baby bird out into the world, attracting all the guys. It's perfect.
What
you
is
got
it?
to attract someone.
What is this magical elixir?
It's some Louis Vuitton something that she buys for me, and
Okay.
guys dig it. Like, you want to sell some insurance to some folks?
Just do a little spritz.
Just give a little spritz of that, and all the guys will come running, and you can sell them all.
I think the best part was that there may have been some Googling after Airwater, and I was told with a big disappointment, it's discontinued.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah,
I know.
right. Yeah,
You're
the
just
minute,
gonna
my Dan heard this, she went out and she started living now. She's gonna make sure that all the dudes still like me.
That's a good woman
Jen
right
has
there.
cornered the market on this magic elixir.
Yeah, if your spouse can find something that only attracts men, that is exactly the fragrance, right?
That's great.
That you need.
Talk about a home run.
I don't need anything else. I just gotta come home to Jen. It's perfect.
That's awesome.
Love it.
Awesome. Well, we've talked about Hagerty a little bit. Can you talk a little bit about what your role at Hagerty is? Because I know it's a role that sent you all over the world. You've seen some amazing collections, met some amazing people. Again, being discreet, but what can you share?
Yeah, well, I've been at Hagerty for 6 years, so it's been a really fast 6 years. It's blindingly fast. It seems like.
Yeah.
I came from a background in investments, so I was an investment dealer and advisor for 22 years prior to joining Hagerty, and cars were always my advocation, so I always loved them. And I realized one morning that life is really short. I had some friends at Hagerty. Shout out to Abe Barnett and Brad Phillips and McKeel Hagerty, and I used to lend these guys, some cars to go do events with, like the Copper State, and became good friends, and started doing rallies together, not just lending them cars. And there was a lot of conversations of you should come work at Hagerty. And at the time, my response, what an arrogant bastard, was, well, I'm doing pretty well doing what I'm doing. I'm not sure that this makes much sense. Until it made all the sense. I woke up one morning and said, I think I really got to go go look into this. And I'd been running around in the hobby for a really long time. I'd built a very substantial car collection for a gentleman here in Nebraska, uh, while I was still, muni bond trader guy. And it was during the Great Recession, and the conversation over dinner, what are we going to do, is, this money keeps coming in, it keeps coming in. And I said, you're buying all the wrong stuff. You're restoring even worse stuff.
Ooh.
And he was like, well, what do you mean? I said, well, do you have a passion for these, 1920s, Buicks and stuff? He goes, well, not really. I just feel like I have to do it. And I'll never forget it. I asked him over a plate of Indian food. I said, well, like, if you could own any car tomorrow, what would you buy? He goes, I'd love an Aston Martin DB5. And I knew just enough that with all the confidence in the world over there, I said, we can find you one of those. And
love it.
A few months later, I've got him out in Scottsdale, and we're at the auctions, and we walk into an auction house that we had no business walking into. I mean, he did. He had plenty of funds, but they didn't know us from anyone.
Sure.
And I'd never bought a car at auction. I'd been to a couple, but never bought a car. And we walked into the room, and the folks at the front desk said, hey, you can't just walk in there. I said, we're going to go buy this car. And they said, well, you have to register to bid. We don't have time. The car's coming up in like 2 spots. And they said, well, you need all of these things. And I looked at my client, and I said, hey, just give them a blank check. He goes, all right. He, gets out the big ledger, rips a check. I mean, if that doesn't do it all right, then a big ledger opens, he scratches his name and hands it off to the front desk, right? And we go marching in the room. And it's a packed house. It was, God, I can't remember what year it was. It's the year that Russo and Steele lost their tents to the high winds.
Sure, yeah.
And so we walk right into the room, and we walk in just as the DB5 comes over the block. And I say, let's just go stand right under the auctioneer's pulpit. And we did. And I told my client, put your hand up. And he did. And we're in front of a packed house. He just looks at me. I said, keep it up. Just keep it up. And he kept the hand up, and the car, goes past the number. He goes, well, what do you think? I said, just keep it up. He goes, well, this is a lot of money. I said, what's one more bond? He goes, good point. So we probably bid against ourselves a few times. Details. But we bought
fun,
that,
right?
we bought that car, and in the course of the evening, he bought 6 more.
Oh, no kidding.
And by the end of the week, we had 2 trailers coming back to them.
Wow.
And from there, we watched so many collectors that really go nuts at first, buying a little bit of everything before they really start tailoring their down to what they want. And, by the time he was done really buying a lot, he had curated quite a collection of Ferraris coming through a pretty good dip point. And, being the guy that was affiliated with him, I wasn't, not the money guy, but the guy that's affiliated, and I was helping him make decisions and logistics and all these things. You meet a lot of folks. A lot of folks want to know who the heck I am.
Yeah.
And so this Rolodex got built out during really kind of the Great Recession, 2012, and then 6 years. That's a really long way to go about it. But that's where the genesis was, really getting to know people.
Yeah.
Rolodex got built, an opportunity to go use it and help a company like Hagerty.
Yeah.
Hagerty, they took a chance on me. I had no background in property and casualty insurance. And, they started me out in a Midwest private client manager role.
Okay.
God bless them. And we found some success with that. And I just kind of kept running to the open spaces where I saw, a need or a gap that should be filled in the business. And so it just kind of the role they put me in just kind of, grew and grew and grew. And they put a lot of faith in me, and they trust me. And so today, to answer your question, after 30 minutes of bullshit, today, what does Trent do? So so I work with our largest accounts. I'm really
Okay.
privileged that I work with our largest accounts. We have a part of the company called Private Collections, and really focused on accounts at like 10 million and up.
Okay.
Most of the work that I'm working on is in that 50 million up, cent to $1 million collections, bringing in new business. So I'm working with a lot of these folks and their brokers, you know, working with them to understand that we really are the best option to protect their vehicles.
Mhm.
We're the only, I think we are really the only company out there that this is all that we do,
Mhm.
collecting cars. And I'm not looking at the age of shake shingles on your house at the same time. Trying to figure
The
out how,
drone. Yeah.
yeah, how do we pay a claim on your Monteverde High SS? Like we know what a Monteverde High SS is here, right? We understand what it takes in the case of something happening to it, and it's really nice to be a very focused company that way. So for a natural born salesman like myself to be handed this product that McKeel and his family built so many years ago,
Right.
to march out into the world smelling great, God, it's like truly like it's
Like,
really
what's
good.
not to love?
Oh, the world's your oyster, Trent. I love
It
it.
really is. So no, it's been really really cool. I've
Yeah.
had so much fun. When I first started, it was completely and totally overwhelmed with cars.
Yeah.
Now I'm completely and totally overwhelmed with the people.
Yeah.
It's yeah, it's such a blessing. It's such a blessing. What a company, to go with a
Yeah.
company before it was public to where it's public today.
Uh-huh.
Watch watch how the business changes, but the culture stays the same. Boy, that's saying something. That's
Yeah.
hard to do.
Yeah.
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 Uh, and
Well,
so
that
for
says a
me, they're
lot
like,
about the team.
yeah, it really is. And for me, they've left me pretty damn autonomous.
Mm.
And I've just always told them that for me to be the best at my job, I need to be omnipresent.
Mm.
So I need to be where all the big collectors are all the time.
Mm.
And so if that's the Colorado Grand, the Cal Mille, if it's a Pebble Beach or Amelia Island or Retchmobile in Paris or Classic Le Mans, I try and be to as much as I can be, and it's amazing the amount of community that happens around you with these people when you see them all the time.
Yeah.
By far and away, the poorest guy in the room doesn't matter. We're all there together, and we're
Right.
just having a great time,
Yeah.
and we're talking about what's going on with what's going on around us, and then it's all about their family and my family.
Yeah.
It's all this stuff. It's the greatest thing in the world. It's
Yeah.
the greatest thing in the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
It
And
is.
it's
I mean, I
sincere and
think,
it's genuine. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
like the three of us are very like-minded in that sense, and we talk about it, in various combinations. Like, it really is all about the people. I mean, I think like a large part of our conversation at Air Water was about our daughters, which is like, that's not, car related. And like, I'll have girlfriends say to me like, okay, like you're into it, like help me understand because I haven't been into cars before, but like if you're interested, there's got to be something there. And I say the same thing. I'm like, it's the people. It's just the door opener. It's your, foot into the conversation, whatever.
Absolutely.
And then you end up with these lifelong friends, and it sort of shortcuts all the small talk in a lot of ways. And you just dive into the meat of the friendship, and then you meet all around the world, really, if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the network just grows so
Yeah,
rapid.
yeah,
Everybody wants you to know they're friends, and it's this
Right.
ever non-stop circle of flywheel of greatness,
Yeah.
if you will.
I love that. Flywheel of greatness. That's the best.
There's
That's
the episode title. But I think you're right. And I think because we know we have this giant thing in common, you sort of feel much more confident and comfortable going like, well, you're going to like my friend so-and-so, and you're going to like this person. And, you want to like, it just grows sort of organically. And you're excited to have, oh, my friend from Omaha, meet my friend from France. And we're all in the same place in Monterey. And this is amazing.
Yeah. It's pretty
The best.
pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
It's just the best. Speaking of friends and community, Lindsay, I gotta say, you got the best hat in the business today.
Yeah.
Got the best hat in the business.
I mean, it pays to know people, and I would like to see your version, sir. Let's see it.
Oh, a little.
So my
I am
question
Petersen.
is, I think yours came first, right?
Yeah, this is the OG.
This is the 1.0, and then this was the cherries is the evolution.
Yeah, that's the evolution. Absolutely. Yeah.
And
This it's so fun. People want to organically gather, right? And
right.
and listen, not to knock all of the things that happen at all these car events that are wonderful sponsors, wonderful automotive manufacturers, and they're all hosting great events, right? And they're, really highbrow, high dollar, great stuff. Hagerty does a phenomenal job with their Hagerty House and Radius events and all these things. My business partner inside of Hagerty, we must not be remiss in shouting out Abe Barnett.
I love Abe. I got to meet him in person officially at the fraternity brunch at Car Week this year. I know, and I should say, for those of us not watching, we are, of course, referring to your fraternity, I Ate a Pie, which we are representing with our hats.
Correct. The best.
Yes, it is the best. So tell us a little bit about the genesis of I Ate a Pie, which I was so thrilled to become a pledge officially this summer. Ryan is just waiting for his invitation, but we'll get there, I assume.
It's coming. Ryan, it's coming, I'm sure.
Right.
I'm sure. Just hold your breath.
Right. We just need you to run down the street and get us some tacos, and then
whatever it takes. I'll do it naked. Whatever you guys need.
My card's a little dirty.
I have some socks that need to be washed.
So I have two absolute best friends in the hobby. TG Mittler from Santa Fe, Mexico.
Love TG.
And he is the genesis of the cowboy hat with the snake head, right?
Well, he and I together. That's
okay.
No, twins.
I was going to say twins.
Twins. Bennett Logan is kind of the third, and Bennett Logan's younger than TG and I by a pretty good shake. And
we won't do the math. It's fine.
No, it's fine. He could have been a child for either one of us, but that's fine.
Who's counting though? Come on now.
Technicalities. Come on.
So, we the three of us find ourselves going all over the world to all these events together. And, if I didn't know somebody, TG knew them. If they were young and neither of us knew them, Bennett knew them. And I stopped being facetious, but really it's this really great group of friends that really built out a network together since I've been working at Hagerty. And for a very long time, it was anytime I traveled anywhere, I made sure I had a spare bed in my hotel room, and I'd put TG in the bed, and Bennett Logan would get like an air mattress and put it on the floor between our two beds. It's adorable, right?
Slumber party, fraternity slumber party.
So, after some years of doing this, we joked that we really should start a fraternity, and we started renting a house in Pebble Beach. And we thought we could do something with this, and thus we started a fraternity. So you've got the triune of Trent, TG, Bennett, and Abe Barnett is like permanent pledge.
Right.
He's like the most active permanent pledge of all time. So
plus he's just like human sunshine. So why would you not?
He is like human sunshine. So anyway, so we host this breakfast, this pre-quail breakfast every year, and it is not commercial. It is not any of these things. It's just us inviting a lot of friends, and a lot of these folks may be clients, they may be not. But it's people we want to spend time with. This year at our little house on Bronco Road, TG prepared 72 breakfasts of huevos rancheros.
Huevos rancheros with homemade sauce, I will say.
It was legit. It was it's real.
It was delicious. My favorite part though was the hot tub beans.
Oh yeah, I mean you got to cook the beans somehow. And
right. If you're cooking for a crowd,
you got to have a little fun. Yeah,
I love that.
Best part is people pausing halfway to their. Sorry, how are the beans made? Never mind. Don't worry about it. Just eat them.
We just like to sit in the hot tub and watch the beans cook.
The best.
That's Car Week, baby.
Oh my goodness. We have fun, and with that, it's it's really, again, it's about the people
Yeah.
and that time. I mean, those are memories that none of us are gonna forget. Like, we're not
No.
gonna being there at 6 in the morning or 5 in the morning. We start serving at 5 a.m. and
Right.
uh, Coors in hand, and
The best.
come enjoy yourself. So no,
It's
those are,
amazing.
yeah, it's just something totally different. We love doing that. We love hosting our friends, and yeah, we're very blessed that way.
Well, and again, I think it's sort of like it's meta in the sense of like you have these networks, but again, not everybody knows each other.
Right.
So if you come to the event, everybody's networks are growing in the moment because you're meeting people you wouldn't have maybe run across, even though you know a lot of the
Abs-
same people. I mean,
Absolutely.
I met someone in the driveway on my way out who knows my dad. And I'm like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's like, this is why you go to the fraternity brunch. It's amazing.
Yeah, well, I mean, but I mean, you just spoke to every car event, right? Like
Right, exactly.
the separation in
Yeah,
that world is so tight, and
yeah. I mean,
uh,
it's like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. That's child's play. Come on.
yeah, right. Like,
Yeah,
welcome to Ida Pie. It's like 1 degree of Ida Pie.
right. Well, it
Um,
was the funniest part was he started telling me this story, and in my head, I was like, I'm pretty sure I know this story, and my dad was instrumental.
Mm.
But I'm like, let me just make sure I'm listening, and he tells me a story, and I said, yeah, and I said my dad's name, and I honestly thought he was like punking me because he goes, oh, he saved my bacon, and it was so genuine. But he was so grateful that I was like, oh, he's kidding. He doesn't really know who he is. And he's like, no, I'm being completely serious. He saved the day.
Your
yeah,
Kevin
that's
Bacon.
so
Yeah.
cool.
It was
That's
so funny. Yeah,
I
it was
love
like small world, like totally illustrated the car community in the best way. It was so fun.
That's awesome.
that's so cool.
That's awesome.
All thanks to Trent and
Well, no,
Bennett
no,
and
it's
TG and Abe, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah. Yeah.
the crew. It's a good
Yeah.
Yeah,
crew.
That's
yep.
It's a
awesome.
really good crew.
The
Yeah.
core group. You are known for sort of starting things, or you at least tend to be in the center when things are created. So one other thing that you have created is this very fun group dedicated to Chrysler's finest PT Cruisers.
Absolutely.
And the name of the group is the PT Cruiser Spotters Anonymous.
Yes.
And it sounds like I
Makes-
narrowly missed being at the event where this was created. So for everyone, could you share how this came about?
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm happy
I mean,
to.
it's going back a few years, but
That's such an original name too, isn't it? The PT Cruiser Spotters Anonymous page. Like, oh my
I
goodness.
wish you could have been a little more specific so we'd know what the focus was. But,
Yeah, that's a
you
little
know,
thing. There's a
I
little.
mean,
It's a little thing. It's amazing.
it is.
We were.
I can
It's.
attest.
I cannot believe how active that group chat is. It's just it's
Well,
super.
especially
It's a
today, it
huge
was
group of
like they
people.
knew you were coming on the show. I was like, what's everybody, like,
Oh my
what's
God.
going on?
So let's see. It was myself, Matt Goist. If you guys know Matt
Mm,
Goist, he's
mhm.
a wonderful young man, collection manager, and so much more than that for the folks that he's working with. And he's also on the McPherson College board for the automotive school. Like, really,
Oh,
really.
okay.
So obviously he has great taste.
Right.
He, myself, and John Nickus, once again,
Yeah.
we were sitting together in downtown Orange,
Orange.
as one does, because I mean, you look like you're right out of a film set there, and we're
In
watching
a
like
lot of
all
ways, you
these,
are.
yeah, right, in many instances. So
If,
we're watching these cars roll down the street, and like, oh, Mustang, and there's a Camaro, and there's oh, Ferraris coming by,
yeah.
and the first PT Cruiser that came through, we all kind of looked at each other, and we all waited for somebody to say something like "future collectible," and the three of us were like, hell yeah, it is. Like, these things are like way ahead of their time. And
Uh-huh.
like, how many do you still see on the road today? They're
Yeah.
survivors.
Yeah.
And when you look at, I mean, listen, when you look at the sculpt that was that car, that was a wild thing in its period.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, I can't say anything bad about them. Like, hell, I'd have one.
Well, which
I-
one would you
I-
have? What's your
Work-
dream
work-
spec? What's your dream spec PT Cruiser, Trent?
Oh man, well,
Please tell me there's wood on the
obviously-
sides.
I'd say obviously there has to be faux wood paneling.
Right.
And if there was a drop top so I could have a 2-door, I mean, I wouldn't complain. I mean,
You took the words right out of my mouth.
That's right. Yeah. Yes, there were so many variations of the PT Cruiser.
Right.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Somebody
yeah.
somebody in the group just spotted, and Evan Zima aptly named it, described it. He said, it's so nice to see people driving their classic cars. But it was a drop top PT Cruiser over the weekend that somebody saw out and about.
Absolutely. And
Well,
it used to be go find, you like the slug bug thing.
And now
so
it's PT Cruiser.
Good analogy.
All of us idiots spotting these PT Cruisers, the stories that are coming back of like really poor driving that people are doing just to go get the shot is pretty funny.
That's amazing.
Some of these guys are taking like really beautiful photos of these things.
Amazing.
It's so much fun. It's so much fun. And that group is like a veritable who's who in the hobby at this point. And, hanging out and spotting PT Cruisers in a group chat. We also have one Instagram page that's used here and there, but our group chat's very, very active. Very active.
So is it just the PT Cruiser, or is it PT Cruiser adjacent stuff like the Prowler?
No.
Just PT Cruiser.
We got no time for anything other than PT Cruiser.
Keeping it pure.
Get with the program, dude.
Yeah.
Get with the program.
I love it. All right. So other than the PT Cruiser, what car should we all be buying right now? You've got, insight into this world, and you see what, people are buying and selling. And, you mentioned a 20s Buick or whatever, I mean, fuck that noise. Like, what should we be buying?
No pressure, Trent.
Yeah.
We really should have John Wiley on this show.
I would love to have John on the show. Yeah.
Yeah, he would be a great guy for you guys.
Just make some shit up and just watch the market, change tomorrow.
What would you like to be buying? So tell people to buy the opposite.
Go long PT Cruisers. It's so interesting to watch our insurance book at Hagerty, and we have all kinds of insights and watching what's happening. And the growth that we've witnessed in post-90s cars is unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I don't want to say throw a dart and you're going to land it, but post-90s, cars are really sought after. So when I look at that and I think of, what hasn't moved yet, I think of like first-gen Corvette ZR1. I think of Callaway stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
What a great man. What a great engineer.
Yeah.
He's no longer with us. I don't think that those have seen their day yet. It wasn't that long ago that nobody gave a damn about a roof Porsche.
Yeah.
Right.
And now they are everything.
Yep.
I really think that the JDM market, it's hot, but I don't think that's over yet.
Okay.
So I think as you look at Skylines and Brian Janich, shout out to him. He's taught me a whole lot about that market.
Right.
I think that market has a lot of legs. And then I've always been a bit of a contrarian. So for me, I love looking at like 32 Fords because they've become reasonable again. So you've got like these really cool young guys getting into that stuff. And that's cool to watch. The great builds are always going to be expensive, but to watch some of these young guys get into these more reasonable, flathead vehicles is really cool. I was privileged to go on a tour this summer, and kind of being again contrarian, I'm dying to find a pre-war car, a pre-war sport. That I can drive. I was co-driver in a Bentley tour this summer, and man, I got so hooked coming out of that.
Those things are great.
I think outside of Bentley, like Bentley's, like they've done such a good job. The Bentley owners have done such a good job of creating events to make those cars, keep the demand high on them. Everybody wants to go do all these great events with. But we're not seeing that, at least in the States. There's more in Europe, but not so much in the States for pre-war sporting cars and events here. So, being a guy that either likes to follow a crowd or or start a crowd. I'd love to be the genesis of a, a sub 55-year-old group that goes out and starts buying some pre-war stuff that we can do things with. I think that would be a lot of fun, and where that market's maybe, valuation is shrinking a little bit.
Yeah.
It allows the next generation to say, you know what, I think there's value there, and I want to get involved.
Yeah.
Well, and I love that because I think that is a pretty consistent thread in terms of topics of conversation. When you look at, I think kind of like the conventional wisdom is the cars that are popular are whatever the generation that has, come into their own financially had in high school. And so the concern is like, okay, but so the really early stuff are the enthusiasts passing on, and what's going to happen to them? And so I love this. Like, it's sort of like, well, maybe that's not the concern that we're all, anticipating it to be, because the next wave of enthusiasts is going to come along.
Right. Yeah. I hope that that's the case.
Right.
I feel like it is. So, I feel like we're kind of, for me, it's that barbell. I'm looking at both sides.
Yeah.
Car.
Don't you think there's just some stuff that's inherently good that just sort of transcends, sentimentality, right? I mean, there's some stuff like maybe 32 Fords or whatever, right? There's some stuff that's just good and will always be good and always be desirable.
I think, without a doubt, like, the Tri-5 Chevys, like, you ask somebody to draw you a picture of a classic car, they're going to draw you either a 32 Ford or a Tri-5 Chevy, right? So it might not always be inherently valuable, but will always be inherently good.
Right.
I think if you're talking intrinsic value, can't have this conversation and not talk about Ferrari.
Sure.
In words of T.G. Mittler, there are fewer, Ferraris from the 1950s and 60s than there are billionaires in the world. So that drives some demand.
Boy, that's a good way to look at it. Yeah,
right.
that's
right.
wise. Yeah.
Huh. The same thing can be said about, McLaren F1s and these cars that just show a whole lot of inherent value. Porsche's done so well at what, I started buying Porsches because they were cheap.
Yeah.
I was buying these Ferraris for this client and friend of mine, and I was picking up Porsches because they were just cheap.
Sure.
And like, I could do this.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have been, but I was, and but I'm glad I got them because I couldn't afford the stuff I have today that I was buying then. And it's interesting. I think there's a lot of great supercars in the recent modern world that I think will continue to be really great. The LaFerraris, the McLaren MC12s, there's a list that we all know. I think that those will hold great value for a very long time. The collector car community is not going anywhere. Any market finds a bottom and then levels, and then somebody comes along and says, Lufka Colt's a really cool thing, and it lifts the whole market, right? Or Machinissima, this just happened last week in LA, and all of a sudden everybody cares about Alphas.
Isn't that funny? Yeah.
It just takes the right event or lift to get that to happen.
Yeah. So PT Cruiser Fest is happening when, Trent?
Well, we're going to put Lindsay on that.
I was going to say, we just had the kickoff meeting, so it's 2025. So Trent, I'm thinking 2035-ish.
Didn't we just have it like last week? I don't know.
Did you guys miss it? Wait, it was amazing. The reviews are in 10 out of 10. No notes.
Yeah, Luke's got nothing on us. Luke's got nothing on us.
Yeah, we scooped Luft. PT Cruisers are where it's at, kids.
Bring my PT to Luft, please. I've got to give. If I can give a couple of plugs.
Please.
Absolutely.
Nobody wants plugs on their podcast, but by God, I'm going to do it.
We love them.
Plug away.
Plug one. If you haven't yet, a dear friend of mine, or friends of mine, recently had a film release.
Ooh.
So it's called One of One.
Oh yeah.
It's about the Naito family in Japan.
Yeah, right on.
So Naito and his family are featured. Ben Bertucci is the documentarian director, voice of the show. Does a phenomenal job, and they're just great friends of mine. They hosted me in Japan about a year ago,
Oh, that's
and
right.
I can't say enough good about the family. So if you get a
Awesome.
chance, trust me, you are going to love the film. It's worth every minute of the watch. Um, and if you don't like it, I'll give you my personal email. You can tell me why. But
You
I've
can
heard
tell
nothing
me
but
all about
wonderful
it.
things about it. Shout out to our friend Maurice Merrick at Horsepower Heritage, who had been on the show recently to talk about it. So,
good.
it's wonderful. I hear.
We'll check it
So,
out. Yeah, I
Yeah, for
remember
sure.
seeing the pictures of your trip, Trent, and it looked amazing. So
Yeah,
I'm excited to try it.
yeah. I'd never been to Japan. I was blown away by Japan. I was blown
It's the
away by the
best.
family's hospitality.
Yeah.
I show up and I didn't know the Naito family well.
Mm.
And we had met a few times. I think I had done kind of one half-assed favor for them, and they had been to the fraternity breakfast in the past.
I love it.
And
So
I
the
show
rest
up.
is history.
Yeah, exactly. I show up to their shop, and So Naito says we're doing a 5-day driving tour down the Izu Peninsula out of Tokyo, and he hands me the keys to his '67 911R,
Shut up. Shut up.
and it's just like, what? Like, okay, and we go from Ryukon to Ryukon, and like it was the most incredible thing ever, and the most generous people, the most generous spirit. This family is incredible. Their history between Japan in the 1950s to present, the time spent in the 60s, 70s, 80s with the second generation coming back and forth to LA, and they built a really cool business. I don't want to spoil any of it, but by God, watch it. They're wonderful people. And Ben just nailed it.
Right
Ben
on.
just absolutely nailed it. It's not just about the cars, but if you like cars, there are some wonderful shots in there of really incredible stuff. And it reminds me of oh man, what was the old Alan Decadene show? Driven to Perfection,
Okay.
right? So it's kind of like the beauty shots of that with a really good story being told about it. Just really incredible. So if you have a chance, do that. And then
And what's the name of the movie?
One of One.
One of One. Okay.
You can catch it on Apple TV or Amazon.
Awesome.
Nice. Perfect. Easy. We can go watch.
Yeah.
Very, very easy.
We're so lucky to be a part of this world, aren't we? I mean, this is pretty special, right? These opportunities we have, these people we meet, it's pretty great.
It'd be fun to get Ben on your show.
We should do that. We should absolutely do that.
So gets to the United States quite a bit.
Right on.
Anyway, that's plug one, plug two.
Yeah.
Boy, I love clubs. If you haven't been able to tell,
so, yeah.
I love club.
None of this makes any sense.
So I was recently put on the executive committee or board of the Petersen Museum's Checkered Flag 200.
Yes,
That's right. Congratulations.
Thank you. More adulation, please. No.
Go on.
So for those folks that have an interest, the Petersen Museum, I always considered it, living in the Midwest, as kind of the White House of the collector space.
That's it.
Yeah. And Bruce Meyer kind of being the president down in the war room, if you will.
Yes.
And with the amount of time that I spend in LA and the amount of time I've been able to put in with the Petersen and the checkered flag, and now in a position to be working with them, has been really, really great. But the amount of good that they do for the city and the children, that checkered flag group, it's an annual membership. I think we've got about 600 members in it currently. But I want to say we put 2,600 busloads of kids into the Petersen every year.
Wow.
That group and the dollars that come out of that group in this membership, I think they've put almost or just over 3 million children through that museum in LA. So
that's incredible.
Something I'm very proud of. And the people in that group are some of the best in the world. And we all share the same ridiculous passion for automobiles and steel and rubber and all of those things. But a real plug to the checkered flag and to the Petersen Museum. For a guy to grab a job at Hagerty and find myself, doing all of these really ridiculously interesting things with even more ridiculously interesting people, and finding some ways to make impact beyond the walls of Hagerty has been really, really cool. And I pinch myself every morning. And I have a very, very patient wife with great olfactory nerves.
Right. She's a triple threat.
Well said.
Multi-threat for sure.
Well said. Well said. I think that's a show, and can't thank you enough, Trent. I think you're the best. Great storyteller, great show. Come back anytime. I feel like we've just scratched the surface, huh?
Yeah,
I would love it. Let's keep this party rolling.
Let's do it.
Let's do
it.
A bigger group. Let's all talk over each other next time.
And I'll be checking my mail for my hat. Okay, I'll leave it at that.
It's on its way.
right on.
Check every day, Ryan. Ramsey, Ryan, man, it's so.
Is it here? Is it here?
Ryan's pledge requirement is run to the mailbox every day.
I'll give you a feed to my Ring camera, and you'll.
Right. Like, you were a little late on Thursday. We're going to extend it by a week, but we're getting close.
I love
goodness.
it. I love it.
So good to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much,
Trent.
This was so much fun.
Talk soon, okay?
Well, and don't forget to always be driving, everybody. And we're That Car Show. We'll see you next week.